At this point in time, let me tell you a little bit about what's on my mind regarding this particular Torah reading. Shalach Lecha. So when I talk to loved ones who are preparing for a funeral, I cannot count the times when I am told that the deceased was a spiritual Jew, but was not religious. Can I trust you with a secret? Honestly, I have no idea what that means. I have no idea. Does not religious mean that the person did not come to shul or study Torah or say hamotzi before eating or observing kashrut? Does that's what it means? On the other hand, what does it mean to be a spiritual Jew? To love God, to believe in the Ten Statements, to love fellow human beings as yourself, to be a good person, argue with everybody. That's part of being Jewish. Give tzedakah to deserving causes. Who knows? Could mean that. One thing I do know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that having a sense of spirituality is as necessary for our emotional survival as is water for our physical survival. Just as we need enough pure, clean water to stay healthy, we need a solid sense of spirituality to live a fulfilled life. We do. The thing is, we do pay a lot more time worrying about the quality and taste of our drinking water than we do worrying even a little bit about spirituality. Many years ago, when bottled water first came out, people laughed and said, "Who's going to buy that? You can get it for free out of the tap." Well, today we have bottled water, we have Britas, we have Pures, we have all kinds of filtered water. It's endless. And yet you could have it for free out of the tap, but we don't trust it. The other thing is most people don't even think about their spirituality because they don't understand what it is or where or how to get it. We know when we are thirsty, but do we know when we require spirituality? Another problem is that most people confuse spirituality, religion, and observance. Those are not the same. They're different things. Spirituality, religion, and observance. They're all related, but they're not the same. Each can exist alone, but together they combine to make us much better people. Let us imagine that we are hiking in the mountains and we come to this beautiful stream flowing with cool, clear water. And we're thirsty. So we put our hand in the water, fingers separated, not together, and we let the water run between them. Then we cautiously bring the fingers up to the mouth. We do not want to get too much water in case it has a horrible taste. We find out that the water tastes really good, and it's cold, it's delicious. But if we repeatedly dip our fingers in that way, we'll never quench our thirst. Instead, we cup our hands, creating a vessel, like a cup, that holds enough water to satisfy our thirst. That is because we know how to satisfy thirst. But what about spirituality? How do we satisfy that need? First, let us look at the difference between being religious and observant. Being religious does not require a person to be a member of an organized religion. Being religious is being a good person who lives a way of life that helps others, living a way of life that is centered around morals and ethics, living a way of life that is centered around a higher authority. A religious person does not have to be a Jew or a Gentile, does not have to be observant, may be devoid of spirituality, but is known as a good person. That's being religious. Now, what about observant? Being observant means that a person lives a life based on what an organized religion teaches. In the case of Judaism, observant Jews follow the mitzvot. It's very possible that a person who is known to be very observant isn't really religious and has no spirituality. And I'll bet you know people like that. That person might be good, but could also be horrible. Again, we might know people like that. Being spiritual is different from being religious or observant. Spirituality, and this is a little bit more complex, comes from feelings. It's the feeling we get that cannot be explained. It's kind of like love or hate. You can't explain them. Spirituality is a feeling. It happens when we witness a baby being born, see a beautiful sunrise or sunset, when we fall in love, when we suffer a loss, when we feel the touch of a loved one. The thing is, without combining religious and observance, spirituality becomes unfocused, undirected, unchanneled, fleeting, and does not provide long-term fulfillment. Yeah, you feel good when you hold a baby, but when you leave, you better find something else. By combining religion and observance, is like cupping our hands to drink water. It is how we get enough spiritual water to sustain us. So today's last paragraph, the last paragraph of today's Torah reading, as we said, is found in our prayer book. In fact, we read it today. It's the third paragraph of the Kriyat Shema, the reading of the Shema, and it tells us to wear the talit and the patil techelet, the blue thread. In this paragraph, there are three important verbs that we need to pay attention to. They are see, remember, perform. See, remember, perform. We are supposed to see the tzitzit with the blue threads on the talit on each corner of our garments. Seeing makes a strong impression. Wearing and seeing the fringe garment gives us a 360-degree view of the 613 mitzvot. When we walk into a sanctuary and we see the mezuzah on the doorpost, an ark with Torot in them, a menorah, a ner tamid over the pulpit, the eternal light, and men and women wearing talitot. When we see that, that's amazing. It makes us feel good. Today, the blue thread is being seen more and more. These symbols are the cupped hands that combine our religion, our observances, and our spirituality. This helps us remember the lessons of our faith. We remember we are descendants of an ancient people that have leveraged these reminders, not for a week, or a year, or 4 millennia. 4,000 years we've been doing this. 4,000 years. When we see and remember, then we are motivated to perform. Covering our heads, opening a siddur, wearing a talit, kissing the Torah, bending the knee, and bowing for Aleinu also helps stimulate spiritual thoughts. Even the traditional melodies and nusach, the mode, that we sing during our services help bring our spirituality, because we know that our parents, grandparents, and their ancestors sang some of the same melodies. Can I remind you of the melody of Kol Nidre? How do you feel when you hear that? That's a melody with words that are almost meaningless. It's not a prayer. It's a document. It's a legal document. And yet it brings tears to our eyes. The melodies. Many people reach a sense of spirituality through meditation. The message of the Torah is that spirituality gotten through meditation. Yeah, some get it through medication as well, but we're not talking about that. But those who get it through meditation alone, it's just not enough. Spirituality that is fulfilling comes from doing and performing within a historical and well-tested context. That is why I am a Jew. That's why I am a Jew. I believe that by combining a way of life built on our Jewish traditions, customs, and observances is the best way to live the most fulfilled life possible. The talit with the blue thread is but one physical expression that brings out our spirituality. And with that, I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom and Am Yisrael Chai.